forward into getting interested in Batman and all of that through making the movie.
So let's put a couple tables together.
I'm not sure that they'll let us.
Oh, they should. I own the place.
You really go, okay, I can run with this guy. I can trust him. It's really impressive. Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of?
Oh, you have no idea.
Alfred is the human touch in amongst all this. He's the most human. He's also the most humorous.
Will you be wanting the back pod, sir?
In the middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then.
Much more subtle.
2, 1, action!
The beginning of The Dark Knight, you see that Bruce Wayne and his Batman persona have matured. He's really the fully formed Batman from the comics.
I've seen now what I have to become to stop men like him.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. And I promise you, the dawn is coming.
Here we are. Let's roll, 3 cameras.
It's kind of an interesting dynamic that Chris has brought into Batman. I've really enjoyed playing it.
Where do we begin?
A year ago, these cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened?
So what are you proposing?
It's simple. Kill the Batman.
Also, Christopher Nolan is going more for the dark side as well.
And here we go. Come on.
I just love what Chris did to it. You know, he just really reinvigorated the whole franchise and brought the darkness and the richness back to it.
You once told me we'd be together. Did you mean it?
I remember when we finished the last one, I said, what's the next one going to be like? He said, darker, much darker. And it is.
We also have a great beacon of light in the character of Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent is district attorney of Gotham City, newly elected.
Who can hopefully actually make Batman superfluous, and the Batman can just disappear.
We'll never be able to link the gun to Rooney, so we won't be able to charge him, but the fact that they're trying to kill you means we're getting to them.
I'm glad you're so pleased, Rachel. I'm fine, by the way.
In the beginning of the movie, she's an assistant district attorney, and she's crazy about Harvey Dent.
Harvey's main job really is to clean up this city that is extremely corrupt.
And at the same time, I really think she really loves Bruce, and he really loves her.
The relationship with Harvey Dent is an interesting one because Harvey Dent is, you know, shining hope for the city, and I think that Bruce sees Harvey as an opportunity, really.
He sees that he might be able to stop being Batman. He might be able to go back to having a relatively normal existence.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
The famous Bruce Wayne. Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not. So let's put a couple tables together.
I'm not sure that they'll let us.
Oh, they should. I own the place.
Socially, we're compatible. Obviously, Bruce Wayne comes from a very wealthy and privileged family and privileged life. Harvey hasn't. But they do run in the same circles. They are around the same demographic, and funny enough, they like the same girl.
And so, as the movie goes on, she finds herself in a real predicament.
Bruce is certainly suffering, sacrificing, in many ways, both mentally and physically, as well, from this character of Batman, who he has unleashed and who he's really unable to rein in.
Did you get mauled by a tiger?
It was a dog.
Huh?
It was a big dog. He's also created this symbol, and that symbol can't have limits.
He's a crime fighter. And I think that as such, yes, he takes it upon himself to meet it head on wherever he encounters it.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Batman has to hide his deeds. He cannot tell who he really is. because he's going outside of the law doing it. I am the white knight in that I am the city's hope, and I'm doing it within the boundaries of the law, and I'm doing it overtly, whereas he's covert.
Once you get the idea that the world is actually depending on you for salvation, then yeah, you would feel that just what you had to do, you have to step up to the plate and deliver. I mean, after all, that's what he set himself up as the champion of. Justice, truth.
And so, you know, you have the fight between what is good for Bruce Wayne and what is the right thing to do for Batman, and the two of them are not always compatible.
Brought about this escalation of different bad guys coming into this big metropolis, trying to take it over, and of course a real genuine villain that owes his allegiance to nothing but chaos in the Joker.
This city deserves a better class of criminal.
In expanding the scope of the story we told in Batman Begins, expanding the canvas, and having the greatest possible canvas for the Batman to face off against the Joker, it throws the audience right into the action.
Here's my card.
We were looking at many ways to make this film bigger and better than the last one.
Chris was really able to deliver that in a very major way.
I'm gonna give it to him. No! You'll see. I'll show you.
Christian is so good and so believable and takes the character in such a strong place. I mean, he really is magnetic as Batman.
No, he's just an incredible, fine actor.
Add to it a wonderful outfit.
To me, actors who like what they do what they do. You can put any combination of them together and have fun.
For me, it's like these two guys are both so gorgeous and so talented and so winning, you know, that it was an actual real predicament.
If I get him to you, can you get him to talk? I'll get him to sing. We're going after the mob's life savings.
I would think, okay, in this scene, I think probably I'm leaning toward Harvey in this scene. And then we play the scene and I think, oh, but Bruce, you know, I really would, you know, because they were both, I mean, it's Christian Bale and Aaron Eckhart, and they're both pretty spectacular. And so it was easy to sort of live that predicament.
When we came to make this film, we knew that we had to deal with the Joker, having left off the way we did at the end of Batman Begins. But it had to be a Joker that fits into the Chris Nolan version of Gotham City.
This town deserves a better class of criminal. I'm going to give it to him.
To me, it was creating a sort of psychologically credible anarchist, a force of anarchy, a force of chaos, a purposeless criminal, a psychopath.
It had to be a Joker that was less campy and a little bit more realistic and ultimately more terrifying, I think, because he's a real threat.
This is my city. It won't work for a friend.
He's lost faith in mankind's ability to do good, and so enjoys highlighting man's hypocrisy and really making people question their values and just how sincere they are with those values.
That people are not at heart salvageably good, that you can corrupt them.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
He's a very intelligent character who through his absolute disregard for any kind of codes of conduct or rules of behavior is very unpredictable and very dangerous opponent.
To me, that is the most frightening form of evil. The enemy who has no rules, the enemy who's not out for anything, who can't be understood, can only be fought.
He's, psychopathic, enigmatic, and clever, diabolical, charming, funny, completely enjoyable to watch. One of those people you can't take your eyes off of.
He's not somebody that you just laugh at, although, of course, our Joker, I think, Heath is funny and scary, and I think that's what makes the character really something.
I think for me, actually, it had almost everything to do with Chris Nolan and the cast that we had. In a way, almost the fact that it was Batman was almost incidental for me.
He manages to, on the one hand, satisfy the need for a roller coaster ride in the movie, the need for spectacle and just being wowed and just being purely entertained. He managed to do that, and at the same time to include, like you said, a great duality within the characters and the situations, great conflict.
I have never worked with anybody who's so patient, who's so well-humored, so in love with the process of making a movie.
Chris was just from the very beginning so interesting and engaging and interested in me and interested in my ideas about the role, and then the cast was just so spectacular.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not. You once told me that we'd be together. Did you mean it?
Bruce, don't make me your only hope for a normal life.
I think there's going to be a very unique experience for people to be had there. And for me, it's an experience that takes me back to when I was a kid going to the movies, and the scope and scale and grandeur that great cinema can have. As a filmmaker, I think you're always trying to get back to that.
And here we go.